What's really going on here? Something big is brewing in Cleveland, and the entire football world is locked in right now. This isn't just another random sports headline. This situation has fans heated, media divided, and the Browns under a serious spotlight. There's a growing controversy surrounding one of the team's most talked about wide receivers, and the fallout could seriously shift the future of this franchise. This is the kind of moment that separates diehard fans from casual watchers. So let's slow it down and break apart what's happening with Jeudy and why the city of Cleveland is on edge right now. The Browns aren't just tweaking things. They're in the middle of a full-blown organizational shift, and every move feels like it matters more than ever. After years of non-stop quarterback chaos that left fans exhausted, Cleveland finally believed they found their answer in Shedeur Sanders. He came in with major expectations, seen as the missing piece to finally stabilize the offense and push this team forward. But here's where things take a sharp turn. Instead of watching Sanders grow with solid support around him, fans are witnessing confusion, misfires, and choices that don't line up with the plan everyone was sold. Let's talk about what set everything off. Jeudy, the wide receiver Cleveland traded a valuable second-round pick for and then paid like a centerpiece, spoke to the media, and his words only added fuel to the tension. But what really pushed people over the edge wasn't the interview itself, it was what happened on the field that had fans furious. One play in particular has become the symbol of everything going wrong with this offense right now. A moment so bad, so avoidable that it's replaying non-stop across social media and sports radio. Cleveland fans aren't just disappointed, they feel disrespected, like effort and focus are missing when it matters most. Now, before diving deeper, context matters here. When the Browns traded for Jeudy from Denver, there were already red flags waving. Broncos fans didn't exactly lose sleep over his departure, and several league voices had doubts. Even national analysts and former players questioned whether Jeudy could truly be a consistent number one option at the NFL level. There were conversations, some loud, some quiet, about whether his college success at Alabama masked issues that would show up later. Still, Cleveland took the gamble anyway. They gave up real draft capital, spent real money, and expected Jeudy to become that guy. The dependable target, the safety valve, the player a young quarterback could trust when things break down. Early on, it didn't look like a mistake. With other quarterbacks under center, Jeudy flashed talent, made plays, and gave fans hope that the receiver room finally had some real juice. For a stretch, it looked like Cleveland had made a smart move. But once Shedeur Sanders stepped in as the starter, everything shifted. And not in a good way. Suddenly timing was off, routes looked sloppy, and confidence seemed to vanish. To fans watching, it felt like Jeudy didn't just struggle, it felt like he completely lost his rhythm overnight. And that's where this story really starts getting uncomfortable. This isn't about a small dip in stats or a few games where timing felt off. What fans are seeing goes way deeper than that. These are basic breakdowns, the kind that would get you pulled aside by a high school coach. Routes looked sloppy and confused. Drops came on passes that should have been automatic, and everything just felt off from a fundamental standpoint. What really raised eyebrows, though, was the energy, or lack of it. There were moments where the effort didn't match the situation, and that's when people started wondering if something bigger was happening behind the scenes. That feeling only exploded after one specific play that's now being treated like the turning point in this whole situation. Picture it clearly. Shedeur Sanders drops back, stays calm, scans the field, and delivers a perfect throw to Jeudy. This wasn't a risky toss or a tight window gamble. It was clean, on time, right in the chest. The kind of pass quarterbacks dream about throwing and receivers expect to secure every single time. No traffic, no chaos, just a routine NFL completion that should have moved the chains easily. And then, everything goes sideways. Instead of finishing the play, Jeudy doesn't secure the ball. A defender steps in and takes it. Not strips it late, not punches it out after contact, but straight up rips it away. The replay is brutal. Jeudy has both hands on the football and somehow it just slips free. No fight through the catch, no strong finish, no refusal to give ground. The ball is gone, and the moment instantly goes viral because people couldn't believe what they were watching. Fans paused the clip frame by frame, trying to understand how a completed pass turned into a turnover. What they saw only made it worse. From the outside, it looked like a complete lack of grip, strength, or urgency to finish the play, and that's what sent Browns fans over the edge. The reaction across Cleveland was immediate. Shock, anger, and that familiar frustration that comes from watching hope collapse in real time. But things really escalated once the local media weighed in. These are reporters and hosts who see the team daily, attend practices, and usually keep things measured. This time they didn't hold back. Coverage on 92.3. The fan turned especially sharp, and the tone made it clear this wasn't just about one mistake. One host summed it up perfectly when he said, "If this was Jamari Thrash, a 5th-round pick who barely sees the field, you live with it." He explained that young players mess up. That's part of development, but then he drew the line. "This isn't some practice squad guy," he continued. "This is Jeudy. They traded real assets for him. They're paying him to be a leader and a playmaker." That statement hit hard because it echoed what fans have been feeling for weeks. The host went on to point out that the concerns didn't start in Cleveland. The doubts, the questions, the warning signs, all of that existed long before Jeudy ever put on a Browns uniform. And now, those old red flags are starting to feel impossible to ignore. The noise didn't start in Cleveland. When Jeudy left Denver, plenty of people there weren't sad to see him go, and that alone raised eyebrows. Add in past moments where national media voices questioned his commitment and edge, and now Browns fans feel like those old concerns are showing up again in real time. One radio host asked the question that was already sitting in everyone's head: do you really believe a true number 1 wide receiver lets a defender just take the ball away like that? Then he made a comparison that hit close to home for Ohio football fans, bringing up Jeremiah Smith, the Ohio State standout projected to be a top pick, and asking if anyone could imagine him allowing that kind of play to happen. The answer felt obvious. Elite receivers don't just rely on talent, they bring attitude, hunger, and fight. Strong hands aren't only about grip strength, they're about wanting the ball more than the defender wants to take it away. That competitive edge is what separates real stars from players who just blend into the lineup. Around the league, the top receivers demand attention every snap. Defensive coordinators build game plans to slow them down, and even then, those guys still find ways to win. In that moment, the expectation is simple: battle through contact, protect the catch, and finish the play. What made the radio discussion even more uncomfortable was the focus on Shedeur Sanders. One host pointed out there was absolutely nothing wrong with the throw. No bad read, no poor timing, no outside excuse. Sanders delivered the ball exactly where it needed to be, clean and on schedule. That's what made the criticism so sharp. The quarterback did his job at a high level. The receiver's job was to secure the catch and move forward. Jeudy is the veteran with years in the league. Sanders is the rookie trying to establish himself. In moments like that, the responsibility is clear. The host didn't mince words, saying there was nothing else to blame. No play design issues, no weather problems, no excuses, just a missed opportunity that landed squarely on the receiver's shoulders. But the moment that truly went viral came from an unexpected voice, a former Browns player and diehard fan known online as GTM. He's built a following in Cleveland for his raw, unfiltered takes, and when he addressed the Jeudy situation, he went straight to the point. In his rant, he called out people trying to pin the blame on Shedeur Sanders. He made it clear that anyone who understood the game could see what really happened. According to him, the pass was perfect, the situation was clean, and the outcome should have been a routine completion. GTM also spoke from personal experience. As a former defensive back, he explained that defenders love going against receivers who don't fight through catches. He said those matchups feel easy because there's no fear, no tension, no urgency from the other side. His point landed hard with fans. Defensive players thrive when they sense hesitation, and nothing boosts confidence more than facing a receiver who doesn't show hunger on contested plays. In moments like that, effort and edge matter just as much as skill. And that's the part Cleveland fans are questioning right now. For a cornerback or safety, this kind of matchup feels like Christmas morning. They know they can play aggressive, get physical, and attack the ball without much fear. When a receiver doesn't fight back, defenders sense it immediately, and that confidence shows up on every snap. While all this drama around Jeudy keeps unfolding, another storyline is quietly revealing how the Browns really feel about their offensive future. Team owner Jimmy Haslam has made it clear he wants more weapons, especially at wide receiver. Behind the scenes, the organization is actively looking to upgrade that room. Recently, Cleveland made moves to lock in players on the 53-man roster, including Jamari Thrash, a 5th-round pick from the 2024 draft. Thrash has appeared in 9 games this season, pulling in 10 catches for 107 yards. Those numbers won't blow anyone away, but they represent something important. upside. It shows potential. It shows that with more reps and real opportunity, this young receiver could grow into a meaningful contributor. And the fact that the Browns are still searching for more help at the position says a lot about how they view their current group. They know they need more. Asking Shedeur Sanders to thrive with the weapons he has right now is like asking someone to build a house with barely any tools. It's unrealistic. Jeudy was supposed to be the steady veteran who made life easier for a rookie quarterback, but instead, he's become part of the concern. That leads directly into one of the most heated debates in Cleveland right now. With the Browns holding valuable draft picks, fans and analysts are split on what the team should do next. Some are already floating the idea of drafting another quarterback, which would mean moving on from Sanders far too early. That idea doesn't hold up when you really look at the tape. Sanders has already shown he belongs. He's made high-level throws, read defenses, stayed calm under pressure, and handled NFL speed like a pro. The issue isn't the quarterback, it's what's around him. The offensive line needs upgrades to give him time. The receiving group needs real playmakers who can get open and secure catches consistently. Overall, the offense needs better tools to support the quarterback. It's not complicated. Shedeur Sanders has shown flashes of being the quarterback Cleveland has waited years for, someone who can finally bring stability and confidence to the position. But no quarterback can succeed when protection breaks down and receivers fail to finish plays. The smart move is obvious. Use the draft picks to build around Sanders. Invest in offensive linemen who can actually hold their blocks. Add wide receivers with strong hands, clean routes, and real competitive edge. Bring in weapons who create separation and force defenses to adjust. Set the quarterback up to win instead of putting him in impossible situations. That's how successful teams operate, and it's how contenders are built. Looking at the Browns' offense right now, the holes stand out clearly. The offensive line has been inconsistent, leaving Sanders under constant pressure. The receiving core lacks depth and reliability beyond the disappointment surrounding Jeudy. There's no clear number one receiver who can take over games, no dependable slot option on third down, no deep threat that keeps defenses honest across the entire field. Until those issues are addressed, this offense will continue to struggle, no matter who's under center. Right now, this receiving group feels like a collection of players who might fit nicely as supporting pieces on a loaded roster. But here, they're being asked to do way more than that, and the results make that painfully obvious. Then there's Jeudy, who somehow looks like two completely different players depending on who's throwing him the ball. Earlier in the season, with other quarterbacks under center, Jeudy looked serviceable. At times, he even looked solid. He was making contested catches, flashing the athleticism, and showing the route running skill that made him a first-round pick coming out of Alabama. But once Shedeur Sanders became the starter, everything changed, and not in a good way. Routes that should be second nature suddenly look sloppy. Catches that should be routine turn into drops. The effort that fans expect on every snap feels inconsistent, and that's what's driving people crazy. That shift has sparked non-stop debate. Some believe it's just bad timing, a slump that happens to line up with Sanders taking over. Others think the chemistry simply isn't there yet and needs more reps to develop. Those are reasonable explanations. But there's also a growing group of fans and analysts who think something deeper might be going on. Some speculate that Jeudy isn't fully buying into working with a rookie quarterback. Others wonder if frustration from losing has crept in, or if there are personal factors affecting his focus. None of that is confirmed, but the speculation exists because the drop-off has been impossible to ignore. Whatever the reason, the outcome is clear. Jeudy's performance alongside Sanders has been rough, and that moment where the defender took the ball away has become the image everyone points to. It's replayed constantly, clipped for social media, and used as proof in every argument about what's going wrong. That single play now represents all the doubts people have had about him. Questions about toughness, consistency, and whether he truly has what it takes to be a dependable number one receiver in this league. Cleveland media, which is usually patient with players who show effort, has reached a breaking point. These are voices that have sat through years of rough football, bad seasons, and broken rebuilds. And now, many of them are saying the same thing. Enough is enough. When radio shows, podcasts, and beat reporters all line up with the same criticism, it tells you this goes beyond one bad snap or one rough afternoon. It's a pattern, and it's become too loud to dismiss. That's what hurts Browns fans the most. After years of watching other teams feature reliable playmakers while Cleveland struggled, Jeudy was supposed to change the narrative. He had the draft status, the talent, and the contract that signaled belief from the organization. For things to unravel this quickly, especially with a rookie quarterback who desperately needs a steady leader, makes the disappointment hit even harder. But here's where the conversation shifts. From a front office perspective, Cleveland still holds plenty of options. Those draft picks everyone keeps mentioning aren't just talking points, they're real chances to reshape this offense. The Browns could attack the offensive line early, locking in protection and stability, and that's only the beginning of the choices sitting in front of them. Sanders needs room to operate. Plain and simple, Cleveland has multiple paths they can take this offseason, and most of them point towards surrounding their young quarterback with real support. They can target wide receivers throughout the draft, adding depth and real competition to a room that badly needs it. They can also shore up other weak spots, whether that's defense or special teams, to build a more complete team. The choices in front of the Browns are massive. How they handle this offseason could decide whether Shedeur Sanders becomes the long-term answer or another talented quarterback who never got the help he needed. And that's the part nobody wants to see. What they absolutely cannot do is panic and draft another quarterback. That move would be disastrous. It's the kind of decision that resets the clock, creates confusion, and traps franchises in years of instability. Sanders has already shown enough to earn patience and commitment. The throws are there, the decision-making is there, the leadership is there. What's missing is the supporting cast that every successful quarterback in NFL history has had. There isn't a single Super Bowl winning quarterback who did it alone. Not one. Even the legends needed protection, playmakers, and trust around them. As the season winds down, there's still a window for Jeudy to change the conversation. 3 weeks might not sound like much, but in the NFL, that's plenty of time to flip the narrative. A few big plays, some tough catches, and real effort can go a long way. If Jeudy steps up, wins contested balls, and shows the fire people expect, maybe, just maybe, that one ugly play fades into the background. But if the drops continue and the effort questions remain, then his future in Cleveland could be in serious doubt. This situation goes beyond one player or one team. It's about expectations versus reality. It's about effort, mindset, and how quickly things can unravel when key players don't deliver. Jeudy arrived in Cleveland with something to prove after his exit from Denver. This was supposed to be his reset. Instead, the same concerns followed him, and that's why the criticism is so loud right now. For Shedeur Sanders, this has been a tough but real lesson about life as an NFL quarterback. You can make the right reads, deliver perfect passes, and lead the huddle, and still watch plays fall apart if teammates don't execute. That's the league. Every great quarterback has faced moments like this. What separates the ones who last from the ones who fade is how they respond, how they handle adversity, and whether the organization puts them in a position to succeed. Right now, the Browns are at a crossroads. They have their quarterback, they have draft capital, they have ownership willing to invest. What they don't have is time to waste. Championship windows close faster than people realize, and standing still is the same as falling behind. The Jeudy situation, as frustrating as it's been, brings clarity. Cleveland needs players who compete, who fight for every ball, and who bring effort on every snap. That's the standard moving forward. And if you've made it this far, make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more real breakdowns like this. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Jeudy the problem, or does Cleveland need to make bigger changes around Shedeur Sanders?